Welcome back to the City of Palms podcast, episode 127.
You're right. We would say two brothers got together, started a podcast to shine
that
light
was our
on
intro.
talented individuals in the Southwest Florida area. Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing.
Episode 127. Yeah.
That's right.
That's how we used to do
That's
it.
how we did it. It's been almost 2 years, bro.
Crazy. Crazy.
Lots changed.
A lot has changed, bro. I don't even know where to kick this thing off, man. You got married?
Yeah.
You got married?
Because that was the
It's been a
catalyst.
change.
That was what made it so hard to keep. We always thought we'd do it every week. And we did it for so long. How long?
Yeah.
4 years?
I mean, dude, we did it for... I don't even know. See, I'm bad with time.
I feel like it was about 4 years. Even through COVID, we did it. Through everything, we still did it week to week. But what made it so hard was moving. Didn't have the studio anymore. Got married. But the passion never left our hearts. Yeah, we're in a public place right now, so it's kind of, this is like a trip. The fact that I wish y'all could see, like, the fact that how we set
We
this
gotta
up.
post some on our Instagram.
For real.
Hilarious. That's hilarious. But nah, yeah. Nah, yeah, we kept it steady. Through that, yeah, it was tough when you moved because the studios and stuff. We tried. We did record an episode.
We did
recorded
try.
one. It didn't go out, but we did try. It did get tough. I ended up moving too, which, yeah, it was just a lot's changed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot's changed.
And I hope that this one works because I mean we are in a public place recording with our equipment on the go, and first time doing this in like 2 years. So I hope all this is working out.
I know, dude.
And the camera angles are what they are.
Hey, you know us, dude. We're gonna find a way.
We found
find a way.
We did it,
Praise God.
and we're here.
Yeah, we are here. I do feel like there's a lot to unpack. I'm excited to be back, dude. I'm excited. It felt so good just to like hear my voice, just to even see the lights on the Roadcaster. It's like, dude, this is next level.
Mm-hmm.
This really is. I picked up a new hobby. I mean, I started golfing. Yeah, if you see my Instagram, yeah, I started golfing. That's a tough one, but skating's been good. We've still been skating.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun.
Yep. Bonita Park really wasn't a thing whenever we were.
Wow, it really was.
Now when you think about it, because it opened right around the time I got married, so I don't know if we really touched on. We probably talked about it opening, like maybe like it soon to be open, but now it's been open. That's our local park down the road, Bonita Skate Park.
Thank God for Bonita. Yeah, that's an awesome park, really.
Yeah.
It really is. Now they've got Babcock, too.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of parks now that weren't there when we were here. Yeah, wow. Do you know what year we started? City of Palms? Wasn't it? Should be on this.
It would have been 2019, right?
Was it 2019? I think it was.
2019 and then 2020.
Wow.
COVID. Dude, it might have even been 2018 that we started.
We did a lot, too. We did accomplish a lot in the 126 episodes that we did. I mean, dude, we did a live show. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy, the live podcast show. What did we do?
The book release.
The book release.
That was our live
sick.
show.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what that was. I thought so.
Yeah.
I knew that was sick. Yeah. That was
And just
cool.
like shows, like going, like so we've set up before, like shows, and just like the amount of people we've met, and like, dude, we even reflect.
Yeah. I love my bad to cut you off, but I liked going to when we got, this was like kind of early on too, when we got invited on to
Malik's
podcast.
Right?
Yeah,
Curate's podcast.
Curate. Yeah. Shout out Malik. Yeah. That was cool. Shout out these dudes. We've met a lot of successful people doing the podcast. A lot of cool, genuine people. Judah, shout out Judah.
Yeah, just meeting people that like we still follow. Like we still follow these people on social media, and like so many different paths. Like people have like taken so many different paths and stuff like that, and it's kind of cool just to know that like there was a slice of time where like our paths were intertwined, you know?
Yeah,
like they were on our show and got to hear a little bit. And I'd love to catch up with some people too. There are some people that I would love to just like hear what they're up to now. So
yeah, we've got to get some people back on for sure.
Yeah,
we've definitely got to get. There's a lot of guests we got to return back on.
And something I wrestled with, and kind of still do in a way, is like looking back at our channel and like all of the episodes, especially just the you and me episodes, of just like goofing around and just like so much over the years, and like so many different like. I feel like we worked at so many different jobs throughout, like just straight up like grew up, you know, like different jobs, different like relationships, different all this stuff.
Yeah, no, our the episodes we did for sure were, I felt like they were needed. I'm like shifting around here as I'm talking, but yeah, I felt like they were needed, you know, for us as brothers and whatnot too. But then, yeah, even the interviews, dude, looking back on some of the interviews, some of the conversations we got to have, was like, wow.
But something I've wrestled with is considering, like, because we've also changed a lot, you know, and like me especially, like I've changed a lot over like I've like, I'm a new person, you know what I mean? Like from when we started this podcast, even to like, you know, even like just a couple years ago, like even just in the last 2 years, you know, since we like haven't really recorded, like I've changed a lot and like grown a lot, have a lot different values than I used to have. You could even tell if you look back at some of our old videos, like just the way we used to talk and like just like ideas, especially me, like ideas I used to have and stuff like that, and perspectives on things completely different now. And so I've considered, do we take down the old episodes and just almost like start new and like archive all these and just like have like, all right, episode 1, Rebirth, City of Palms. But I don't want to, and I know you've never said that you want to do that, and I like that because I probably would have if like you hadn't like been like, no, I think we should keep them, because it is like a history in a way, you know what I mean? It's almost like a little time capsule of like looking, and like even though like I guarantee I could look back at some of our old videos and like cringe at some of the things that I said or like ideas I had or just like ways I would talk even, I would cringe for sure and like not really want that to be like out there. But I know that like the me that's sitting here today and like that's recording in episode 127 is a different me. So like it's okay to look back at the old me and like and just see how like the growth has happened and everything, and like it's a testimony in a way, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I agree with that, and I think I think it's important to keep them up because, you know, I think it shows growth. Because I would look back too and just think some of the stuffs I would say, you know, were just, I don't know. I feel like when I look back where my head was, you know, mentally, because, you know, I too feel like I've grown a lot, and you know, I was though, for even to that point of taking them off, it's like I was following the Lord back then. So like for me to even look back, you know, to see some of the people we talked to or see some things like, you know, we not endorsed, but I guess let happen, you know, I guess almost endorsed if we ended up putting them out or whatever. It is kind of cringy, but like I said, I mean, it shows growth. It, you know, shows, nobody's perfect. At the end of the day, I still screw up, you know, on things, different things. I think we all do. I mean, we all fall short, but yeah, I had fun. 126 episodes, man. I wouldn't change them. And I think it's important because there's been, I'm not saying like people do it all the time or whatever, but definitely as we've stopped doing it, people will come up and be like, yo, are you still, because we're kind of known in the area. Like that's kind of what we got known for in our area, at least Southwest Florida, for, you know, people be like knowing us to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And so people would ask, oh, are you still doing it or whatever? And there's been some, you know, some occasions where people are like, dude, I was listening to this episode and X, Y, and Z or whatever. So, you know, like I think it's important to leave them up too.
Yeah.
For just a lot of reasons.
Yep. But it's a new chapter for sure. New chapter.
It is, dude. It is. Have you gotten any new tattoos since the last You did. I don't think you had the Dragon Ball.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball. Yeah, the Dragon Ball is for sure. I might have had it whenever we did 126 with Laveau. I might have.
Shout out Laveau too, bro. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Laveau's crushing it. We got to get him back on too. Yeah. Laveau, you're coming back on, even though you were our last guest that we had on. We just got to redo it. We got to re-get you on because.
Also, it took me months to edit it. I remember it took me a long time to edit that.
He's probably like, dude. He's probably never coming back.
Dude, I'd have that done in 25 minutes.
Yeah, no, we got to have Judah back too. We had put in our calendar for the 1 year. Yeah, and
talk about transformation.
He's crushing it. Yeah.
Boy, emerged like a butterfly.
Yeah. Wow.
Like a monarch butterfly.
Yo. I got the bag.
Yeah, you got the bag.
Got the bag. I'm always repping. Yeah, nah, it's cool though. It's cool. You know, one thing that hasn't really changed much, I mean, on the notes of skating, but, you know, is skating. You've still been crushing it. Still been crushing it on and off the board. Shred grip is still a thing. Gohan's still with us. World's best skateboarding Great Dane.
Love that man.
He's skateboarding now. People don't know that.
Yeah. Popped a kickflip the other day.
Do you feel like your skating has progressed since Benito's opened? Or Benito opened?
Yeah, I do. And I think about this a lot because, like, you know, you often like look at like your old self or whatever, like tricks you used to do and like edits you used to like you see of yourself from the past, and like especially me with injuries, like there's always like pre-injury me and post-injury me, and there's always that overwhelming underlying question of like, am I ever gonna like be as good as I was or whatever? And I think for sure, like from post-injury to now, I'm for sure like better than I've ever been, because I remember back then like I couldn't really skate switch or nollie at all, and like now I feel like I've got a pretty decent like switch and nollie like skill set, at least at like a basic level.
No, for real.
But no, since Bonita opened, I think that like I feel like I always felt like I could have skated certain things like bump to bars and like down rails and stuff like that. But like realistically, when I think about it, like we didn't really have parks that had those things. And anytime we'd go somewhere like Tampa, I really wouldn't have the ability to like skate the bump to rails or like the down rails. I'd skate like the gaps and stuff like that, and would like be able to do things like that. But even just park skating in general, like being able to like skate a fun box well and like pump up and down ramps and like get speed to like, you know, like slash a 5-0 like across the quarter pipe to then come in and like skate a fun box or a bump to rail or something like that. Like those weren't skills that I had, I don't think, before Bonita, because the only other park would have been I mean the old Bonita back in the day, but I didn't have the skill set back then either. But Vets, you know, and like the park setup there was not, it was basically like driveway stuff, you know. I would always skate the flat bar. I'd skate the flat box, the little like DIY-ish quarter pipes that they had, like, but it wasn't really like park skating, and I wouldn't really skate the prefab metal stuff that much. So for sure, whenever I think about it now and like how I like skate, I can like skate the bump to bar and like just all this stuff, like I definitely feel like a stronger skill set as a skater. And now I'm excited to like go to parks, like, you know, whenever we go on trips now and like we go to like these different parks around like Florida and stuff, I definitely feel more equipped just because of Bonita, you know.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And you, for sure, I would ask you the same question, but you definitely are loads better than you were like thinking about like when we did just have Vets compared to now, you know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, because sometimes I think back. I mean, I look, because I'm in my head right now. I know what I have and what I can do at Bonita. Like, I thank God for it, because it's like it is grandfathered in. It's so, you know, there's certain tricks I do, like the backside heel, where it's like when I remember getting that for the first time. And being like, oh my gosh, I want to learn that on like every try. You know, I want to learn that every try, and then even transitioning that to like the quarter pipes. I remember when I finally landed it on the quarter pipes, like I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to like get that. And so I've been able to do that. I thank God for that, because, you know, like that bank, I've made mine. I've done other things, trying to learn new tricks on it. But I get in my head sometimes, because I'm like I don't really care what other people think, but I just think I'm like, I want to learn new tricks, but then I get in my head, like today, wanting to learn a front crook on the rail. I know I can do it, 1,000% I can do it, but I'm like scared to try. And then even crooking down the down rail, like I did that shortly after the park opened, and I haven't done it since. But it's like, that's one trick that I'd like to get. I should be hitting the bump to bar or the A-frame rail, whatever it's called. Just stuff I want to hit. The hubba too. It's like when I was skating at Vets, I would always hit the hubba. The hubba was like a perfect size though. It was kind of small. It was kind of crusty, very crusty though. This hubba's like perfect. And the first time I was at Bonita, first time ever, 50-50'd it. Second day, tried to get it on a clip. Ate it. Didn't really eat it, but just fell. And never have even tried it since. And I'm like, dude, so I'm in my head about these little things. I appreciate you saying that, though, because I even got a compliment at the park today. These moms were like, you're really good. Like, how many hours a day do you practice? I was like, I don't get out here every day. But that felt good. Yeah, I know, dude, right? But yeah, I mean, consistently for me, I've been going at it now for like right after high school, so probably 18, and now I'm almost 27, or now I am 27, so almost 10 years. That's crazy to think about.
Going hard at it.
Yeah, crazy
I'm
to
just
think
thankful
about.
it's still with us. I think every day when it comes to all this, like any skater listening, like you can relate to where like you, whatever skill set you're at, whether you're like, you know, up there at like sponsored level or just beginning, trying to learn flip tricks or somewhere in the middle like us, like you always like have a next goal, you know, like if you can like board slide a down rail, now you want to try to like board slide to fakie, or like maybe you could like frontside board slide or, you know, like whatever. You always have like that next goal, and like it's like easy to get hard on yourself, and like especially when you've been skating for a long period of time, there's ebbs and flows of like where you used to be able to do this trick well and now you like do this trick well, and like we talk about that all the time where like there's certain tricks that like used to be my go-to tricks that like I just can't really do anymore because I just don't really practice them. So it's like kind of you got to relearn them, and like there's seasons for tricks, and you can get so caught up in like, and it's good, you know, it's like any sport. It's good to like be pushing yourself and want to be better. And like, you know, that's why we're out there, you know, it gives us like something to like strive for and everything and be proud of when we get it and like achieve the goals. But at the end of the day, like sometimes when I'm leaving the park, it's like today, dude, I slammed so hard today. And literally like for a split second, as I was praying, they're like sitting on the ground, like praying that I could get back up and like walk. Cause it felt like I hit my knee so hard that I was like, bro, I hope this isn't bad. And it wasn't. So like as I'm driving home or I'm walking to my car without a limp, you know, I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like, thank you that I can like skate another day. Like, and sometimes when it's like kind of a boring session, like you don't really push yourself too much. You don't really learn anything new. Maybe you don't even land like some of the go-tos, like whatever, just kind of like a dull day at the park. I still try to like have that moment of like, I remember times when like you couldn't even skate, you know, like I remember times when like, you know, you couldn't even like attempt some of those tricks because you weren't physically able or whatever. And, so you can just like be grateful that like we're even out there. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I try to think about that too, even when I'm in my head like that, or even on a bad session, just an off day or whatever. It's definitely always good to be out there, no doubt.
Because we're not getting any younger, you know.
No, dude, it's insane to think about that. I mean, the fact that I'm already 27 is insane. Because I don't know if it's like with COVID. I don't know if other people feel this way, but like. Even when we interviewed Judah, he asked me how old I was, and I said 21, and I wasn't 21. I was like, never mind, I'm 24. Because, like, ever since COVID happened,
like, pause.
I feel like, bro, I feel like I haven't gotten older. And then it literally just hit me the other day in traffic. I was like, bro.
Getting close to
20.
30.
Like, I'm not early 20s anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not even mid-20s anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're almost 30.
It's crazy. You're telling me 29. I'm like, bro, next year I'm going to be 30.
Yeah.
But it's like the way I see it, you know, it's like it is like a lot to like take in, just the reality of like, you know, you don't get younger. We just keep getting older, and like the years are just going to keep, you know, and like as like now looking and just reflecting, and like I'm married now, like I'm like a husband now. I have a new title like of my life, you know, that like outweighs all these other titles of skateboarder or what I do for work or whatever. And then somewhere down the road there's going to be kids, and then that's going to be a whole new title. I'm going to be called dad for like the first time ever, which is going to be insane. Yeah. And but at the end of the day, it's like they say, you know, you're only as old as you feel. And sometimes I feel 19, bro. Like there's some days that like just with how active we are, and just I really do try to like take care of myself and just like, you know, steward this body that I have, and for what it's worth, because I know it's just going to keep time, you can't fight against time. It's just going to keep, my body's going to keep deteriorating, but I'll fight against it as much as I can.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I've been, amen to that. That's one thing I've been trying to hone in on is like, you know, we're just stewards of this body that we've been kind of blessed with, that we're really borrowing here on earth too. So, you know, who am I to, you know, kind of like disgrace it or you know, I try to honor it every way I can. That's one thing I've definitely been honing in on. I feel like with one thing that's blessed me honestly is that with as picky as of eater as I am, I haven't really like, it's helped me not to eat too much junk. Like I basically don't like anything dairy except for milk. And I hope that's an accurate statement. Yogurt's okay. Greek yogurt's terrible though. Oh my gosh. You know, I don't like a lot of things. So like I'm very plain. Like a lot of my go-tos are just kind of plain. But I think that it's simple eating at the end of the day. I try to stick to a lot of whole foods. I will say like I'm a slipper, you know what I mean? Oreos.
The sweet
Oreos should never have been visited. Nabisco's got me by the freaking rear naked choke, dude. Because when I was growing up, like Oreos were later in life. It was Chips Ahoy. You know, I would down, bro. When I was like before I got married, even after I got married, but like for sure before I got married, I would go and buy, and I did this plenty of times after I got married. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, but I would go and buy like family size. One time the party size, and I killed it. Family size though, like Chips Ahoy's, and I would down them one sitting.
Wow.
One sitting, multiple times a week.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. Like that's sketchy to think about when you think about diabetes. We're talking about honoring the body, and then, but yeah, that's terrible. I don't do that anymore. It's really changed. Now, I definitely can't smack a whole thing of Oreos. I'll kill a sleeve. Don't get me wrong. I'll kill a sleeve.
Yeah,
but that's
hard to not, dude. Sometimes if you don't
Oreos
if you don't give yourself a where I go wrong is like taking the package. Like if you give yourself a portion,
I'm always taking the package.
And then, bro, like you gotta take when you gotta take.
Yeah.
Oh, because
you gotta take some.
You can down one of them easy.
But you ain't going back for more? That's willpower.
No, well, sometimes that's the thing. Is like when I do like take
I'll
a
start
portion
with 6.
and like
I'll get 6 more.
When it comes to Oreos, bro, like it's just I get a little gluttonous.
Do you think the mini ones? Do you think mini cookies are better than full size ones?
Taste wise?
Yeah, I'm fully with that. Mini. Think about it. Mini golden Oreos slap.
They do.
Not saying the full size ones don't. Mini regular Oreos stop.
I think I'm a
mini
fan.
Nutter Butters. Stop.
I'm down for it. I think I like the bigger ones more because I'm really into dunking them in milk. I'm really into dunking them in milk.
Oh, you don't pour them in a bowl and eat cereal?
Dude, that's crazy.
Just me?
Do you remember, I randomly thought of this the other day, and I guarantee you remember. Do you remember there's I think Nabisco made it, but there was a type of cookie that we would get from when it was called Sweet Bay, the grocery store by the house. There was a box of cookies, and if you're listening to this, let me know if you remember this too. They were like s'mores cookies. So it was like a Ritz cracker, but they were s'mores. And what did they have on the box? This will be the test.
Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Yes, dude.
Google it right now, bro. Like literally, actually.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we need that. Those were so good. I think that was Ritz that made that, which I think is made by Nabisco. Yeah. So,
there they are.
Dude, can we order some? Are they on Amazon?
Dude, is there any? Let's see. Shopping. I don't see them.
No.
I don't see them. They're extinct.
Go back to what you had. Yeah, that was crazy. That was a blast. I need that full size. Oh,
that's crazy right there. You see that? That is what I'm talking about. Funny that we both Ritz Bits, s'mores. Who else remembers those, dude? Those were so good.
Dude, leave a comment if you remember those. Those were so good.
And why The Simpsons? Like why?
I think because the movie. Maybe the movie came out right there.
And that probably was, honestly.
Because remember when you would go, during the time that the movie was out, when you go into theaters, they redid every 7-Eleven to make it a Quickie Mart.
And so you could get a squishy instead of a slushie, you get a squishy, and all the donuts looked like Homer Simpson's donuts.
They need to do stuff like that nowadays,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, that was immersion right there. That was
insane. That was, dude,
awesome.
You know what that felt like? That was, when like you're, like like if you ever watched The Flash and they did like a, what's it called? A merge episode with like the Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's it called? Where they work in tandem for like an episode. It felt like that in real life.
Or
felt like we were part of the Simpsons for a little bit.
A cartoon did that too, didn't it? Like Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes, bro. Yeah, yes. I think that's exactly.
And I think Family Guy and The Simpsons have done it too.
Yeah, they have.
That's cool. I like whenever shows do that.
Yeah, what is it called? A merge?
Crossover.
That's what I was looking for. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what exactly, because I was young. How old were you when that movie came out? I remember being young. I remember everything felt it felt like we were living in that, in the Simpsons movie, the dome they put over the world. I felt like we had that too. It's like, it's probably real. I was a kid, dude.
We were elementary school for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
On a different note, I will say when we went to Street League, SLS Super Crown, was that?
That was 2021.
Oh, so we have done episodes since then. So that wasn't in the.
Well, because we talked about, because it was like we did an episode talking about how it was like the saddest thing ever, how we were going to go back the following year, not for Super Crown, but for Jacksonville, and then I ended up getting COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. We concluded this the other day. One of the best trips, not just skate trips, one of the best trips of our whole life was that Street League trip.
Insane.
I stand on that. That was an amazing trip, dude.
Insane.
So awesome.
And I'm really hoping the one we take recently or soon coming up is close. I know we're not going to stay because what made that so great was we stayed 2 nights. Two nights
in the hotel.
In the hotel.
And not any hotel.
Stop. I feel like sometimes when I tell people about that weekend, they think I'm lying.
Dude, for real.
Because I just casually be like, tell people, yeah, like me and my brother got in the elevator. Guess who was there? Tory Pudwill,
Trent McClung,
freaking Vincent Malou.
That's right.
He was in there, right?
The burger place we went to thought we were in Vincent Malou's group because they ordered in front of us. They're like, "You with them too?" And we're like,
"Yeah,
no,
we're over there."
Glad you think so, though. I'll play with my fingerboard over here.
That was such a good weekend, dude.
Such a
awesome.
Good weekend. Talk about immersion. That was immersion, dude.
Yeah.
Immersion into like the skate industry.
Yeah, that was
we're like
crossover.
Because, dude, literally when I think about it, before that, because I'd never really been to Tampa Pro. I don't think actually I'll say I've never been to Tampa Pro before. Like I've been once.
Yeah.
But that was recently. That was like since SLS Jacks. But before SLS, I had never really like met pros or really like been around pros. Too much. Maybe like here and there. But I'm trying to even think of like when I would have. And I don't think
this was like this was like a dream. Because dude, remember the one morning we went down for breakfast and who was it, like Gustavo Ribeiro? Or it was
Felipe Gustavo?
No, it was Ribeiro. Carlos Ribeiro was just on his computer.
That's right.
Again, in the lobby of the
And then the
hotel.
one day before the finals, we saw like, dude, like Avengers meeting. It looked like all the judges. It would have been SLS, like, because Jeff Rowley was there and he was announcing, and like they were all sitting like in the lobby, like round table style, like talking. And it must have been like a little like rundown of like the plan for the day.
And
or
then
whatever.
the final day, after the finals, we saw like everybody go in, and Felipe and his girlfriend went to the hotel or
after the finals
restaurant.
got out.
Yeah, we saw Nigel walk in.
Nigel pulled up and went out and met him at the steakhouse.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's just cool. Like even though like we weren't like hanging with them. Like I didn't even talk to anyone. I don't think. But like you talked with, you said what's up to Jagger.
Yeah, said what's up to Jagger, and I mean said what's up to him to like all of them. Like, we said what's up to the dudes in the hotel or in the elevator. We said what's up to the people above us. Who was that? Who's
Dominic
that?
Walker.
Damo, Damo and the girl. But I mean, they said what's up to us. They asked to come chill too, but I was like, we're kind of
like, nah, we're good.
We're good today.
Kind of just want to kick it with ourselves.
Just chilling. Hotel.
Seeing P-Rod in the lobby was what really tripped me out. Like P-Rod walking through. It was like the whole primitive squad, but like P-Rod walking through. I'm like, dude, that's like surreal because you just have seen these people on video for so many years.
Watch this tape.
Hey, I got this tape. You got a what? I don't have a tape player.
I do. It's in room 205.
I do. Take a backpack. I actually have one of those too. Here's a tape and a tape.
Bro, literally. Yeah, that.
But yeah, one of the best trips. One of the best trips ever was SLS. And dude, when I found out the other day that they're coming to Miami, I knew. I was like, I can't wait to talk to Danny about this because I knew. Because now, back then, it was like they did qualifier one day. That's why we did several days. One, because it was in Jacksonville, had a long way to drive. But two, was because they did qualifier one day, and then they did the semifinals and finals the next day. Right. Now they do it all in one day. So they're going to do the qualifiers in the morning and then do the finals later in like the evening or whatever. Yeah. And that'll be cool. Miami's close, dude. Miami's a couple hour drive.
Bro, I remember when we were there, I remember we weren't really talking, but like I overheard that guy coming from Orlando, and I was thinking, man, like coming from Orlando, that's only a 4-hour drive, you know, rather than like it took us like 6. I think it took us about 6 hours to get there in the G, but it was a long drive. The drive really wasn't bad though. I remember it being a good drive. Miami now is gonna be crazy. We got a 2-hour drive. We're not staying the night because there's no need to.
Yeah, no hotel needed, so definitely on more of a budget, which is sick.
Saving money. Because especially staying in Miami, like one night in Miami is usually like $500 or $600.
Oh, yeah. So that would have been hard to swing.
Yeah. Yep. Terrible.
It'll be cool, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Do you... Yeah, I guess we'll talk off camera about that. But, yeah. On SLS... the Watzko Center.
Yep.
It's the first stop, huh? Wow.
Is that the only one in the U.S.?
I think so.
Wow.
It said Paris, Brazil. I forget where the 4th stop was. Who do you think For SLS Miami, who do you think? We won't really talk about contenders unless you want to, I guess. I feel like at this point it's kind of, I mean, there's going to be, one or two floaters that come within in the finals. But like, who do you think's going to win Miami? Who do you think's going to podium for a second, third?
Sidebar, is that the course? The Miami course? I don't think they released it yet, but I don't recall seeing this course.
Play the video again?
It just barely shows it. Shows it for like a split second.
But then it says, does it say Watsco Center? Because I know it. For a second, it showed Miami.
I don't see any signage.
Is this the video you just played?
Yeah. It says Sao Paulo. Season's here. Yeah, and then it goes into like where they're going to be. And it's showing like snapshots like throughout the last season or two. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, but I don't recall seeing that. Oh, yeah, I do. It's the big bump to Hubba. See this big section? That was the one that Braden Hoban won, I think. That big bump to Hubba. I do remember that. But anywho, you asked who I think is going to take it?
Podium.
So
let's talk a podium.
So here's the thing. And I could be totally wrong. This is just my speculation. But one thing I've noticed about Street League, and speaking of Braden Hoban, this is what reminded me of that, is like, forget what city he's from, but whatever city he's from where SLS went to that city and like his whole family was in the crowd. It was his dad's birthday and like whole family was there. Like he ended up winning. Yeah. So like first I think that's because like just the energy, like hometown, like energy, like that will like give someone the striving to win in a situation like that. But also I kind of have a feeling that SLS like caters the course kind of around that person where like, oh, we're in this person's hometown. So like they can kind of like publicize it that way where it's like, oh, we're in like Braden Hoban's hometown. And I noticed they're already doing that with Jamie Foy. They're like hometown hero Jamie Foy, like SLS Miami coming May 3rd because he's from Broward, so like he's right near Miami. Yeah. And so I have a feeling that they're going to cater this course around Jamie Foy type skating.
Wow.
In hopes,
that's going to be good.
Not necessarily in hopes that he'll win, because at the end, skating. And a lot of people have the same skill sets Jamie has as far as like big rail game and like flipping in and out of rails and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a feeling that the course is going to be catered. That's why I'm excited to see the course layout when they release it, because I want to see what it's like. I have a feeling there's going to be some big rails, maybe a kink rail or something like that, maybe like a gap to rail or something. But on that note, granted, there's a lot of guys who are like big rail skaters that, Yuto like eats rails for breakfast and stuff like that. But Nija has a very similar skill set to Jamie Foy as far as like flipping into rails and stuff like that. Yuto can like spin into rails like crazy, and if they do like a gap to rail or like a kink rail, I don't know if necessarily like Yuto would like be equipped for that, like someone like Nija or Jamie who could like kickflip front crook like the gap to rail or something like that, which I just don't really see Yuto do stuff like that. But can't count anyone out, because like anyone could do it, dude. And like Sora Shirai, every time we see him, he's got 3 new tricks that don't make sense, like literally that guy's body can like spin like it doesn't seem physically possible. But okay, I don't know who all is skating the event yet, but assuming like all the normal dudes we're used to seeing, all the dudes like from last season who were crushing it, like Sora and Yuto and Nija, like, and Chris Jocelyn, like assuming all of them are going to be skating, I'm going to say Nija's been on a tear. And like I've been rooting for Nija like crazy lately, because now he's almost like the underdog in a way. Like he was always, it seems so crazy calling Nija that, but like bear with me, like, because he's won everything, like, you know what I'm saying? But lately it seems like some of these Japanese dudes and some of these guys, like, I mean, any of them, I don't even want to say Japanese guys, but like, the names I'm talking about, like Gustavo Ribeiro is hard to beat on a good day, and like, Yuto's hard to beat on a good day. Sora's hard to beat on a good day. Even Jocelyn, like if there's a big set of stairs and he's on it, like it's hard to beat that dude. But so for like, and now Nija is one of the oldest dudes on the course. So like to see him win it and like to be doing it, he's one of the last ones. He may be the last one from the original squad, the original SLS squad. Granted, he was like 16 whenever SLS came out. So like he's had a lot of like, he started young, but like
LeBron.
No, yeah, he's been in it for since the beginning, dude. And he's the last one. Now that I think about it, P-Rod doesn't really skate him anymore. Chris Cole's been long out.
Yeah.
Sean Malto.
Even Shane fizzled out.
Shane, he's still in him, and he could be, dude. I could never count that dude out because
Yeah.
he's a freaking wizard. But seeing that, dude, did you see the clip? I would pull it up if I had time, but there's no time. I guess maybe I'll put it in post or something. But there's a clip SLS posted of him doing a switch flip down the original Street League season, the first season of Street League. He switch flips a double set. Amazing switch flip.
It was a throwback.
It was a throwback clip, but then they compared it because in the most recent, I think it was the Super Crown where Jocelyn was doing all sorts of crazy stuff down the double set. Shane O'Neill did a switch flip down the double set, and it was the most beautiful. It was better than the one he did back then. It was seriously, I think, a bigger stair set, and just I'll put the clip in because it's amazing. But dude, the most beautiful switch flip ever, dude.
Dang.
To do it on video like that.
Yeah,
he's in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, he's good.
So to wind up the rambling into top 3, I'll say Sora will probably be somewhere in the top 3. Nija will probably be somewhere in the top 3, and honestly, I want to say Jamie Foy just because let's say Jamie Foy.
Well, yeah,
Skater of the year, Skater of the year. Dude is so dang good, and I feel like I haven't even.
And they're
seen
making
him.
the course for him. I'm playing.
They're designing it around him. Of course, he's gonna win.
I'm playing. But nah, he does rip. I'd actually say. I mean, it's fair to say. I think it's fair to say Jamie's one of the best on the boards right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't touching. A lot of people ain't touching him.
Yeah.
And I remember he's been killing it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I think of Jamie, I think of what was it called? I think Buster Bale that they do. Was it Buster Bale where they go to a spot? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a YouTube video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or YouTube segments.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they went to that rail with him and Ryan DeCenzo. That big 18 rail.
No. That was Face Melters.
Yeah.
Back when I don't remember the name of that company. ETN.
Yes.
Face Melters.
Yes. Bro, and that was on YouTube though? Nowadays
they
you
did
can
it
find
on their
YouTube?
site, but yeah, you could probably find it on YouTube.
Cuz I think Face Melters is what I was
What did he do?
Bro, what I remember him doing was they were scared to roll up, and then he just front crooks it out of nowhere. And I'm like he rolls up a couple times, and then just front crooks it. And I'm like, it's the steepest.
It's like that.
Do you know what rail that's called? It's like a legend. You would know the spot.
It's
like a yellow rail.
We might be talking about different things now. Because I was thinking of when DeCenzo tray flipped the dang, I can't even remember the name of the stair set, but it's like a 20 stair, and oh, dude, it's bothering me. I should know the name. It was in the intro. Pretty sweet. It was huge rail. He frontside flipped it back in the day, but he tray flipped it. And I think someone did something on the rail that day. Maybe Jamie, but it's not a yellow rail. I'm trying to think of what Face Melters it is.
Echo Park.
Oh, yeah, that is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah. Echo SLS posted it on their YouTube page in 2021. That's the one that I'd seen right there. Face Melters. The yellow thumbnail.
Oh, so he must have. He's regular, so it would have had to be overcrook. He overcrooked it?
Maybe.
Or maybe just crooked grind. Maybe he just crooked it.
That's I don't even know if he did anything first. Maybe a 50-50. But still, this rail to me is just. It's a face melter.
Yeah, this is a huge set of stairs.
I don't understand that. So steep too.
Yeah, let's see. So I know DeCenzo tray flipped it this day. What did Jamie do? I think he probably crooked it. This is the rail that, dude, who's done stuff on this? So do you remember the intro Pretty Sweet when Sean Malto overcrooks it? Or no, he 50-50s it. He crooked grinds it for sure.
I remember, he crooks it, yeah. I remember somebody, did I say front crook?
Front crook.
Yeah, I guess he crooked it still.
Which he probably would have. He probably would have if it was the other side.
I remember somebody recently, some part that we were watching recently, I think did this. It's not even a yellow rail. I was thinking of freaking the thumbnail.
Yeah. But I mean, relatively recently, within the last couple years, Nija nollie front boarded it, and then he nollie front feebled it in his
I think
in his
I think that's
what's the name of that part? Till Death.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the part?
Or was it Need That?
Need That. That's it. Yeah, Till Death was before that. Yeah, so he's trying to tray flip, which is so crazy, dude. He frontside flipped this over 10 years ago, dude, which is crazy. Oh, was that the first try crook?
I think either that or he 50-50'd it, just getting the feel.
Maybe.
Let's see.
He's very calculated. That's the thing about Jamie Foy. He's super calculated.
Yeah, he might not even throw a 50 down it.
Board slide.
Board.
Backboard, huh? Backboard 20 stair, huh? I don't even know if it's a 20 stair. Pretty sure it is.
It says 18.
Oh, 18 stair. It does say that right there in front of me. And zop. Dude,
yeah, that's insane.
So
the impact on that would be insane. Absolutely insane.
Man, imagine what that feels like.
That makes, like, there's no excuse why I would ever be scared to backboard the A-frame rail at Bonita.
Yeah.
Watching him do this.
Man, it's just crazy how close it is, you know? Like, that was a perfect tray flip, like, right under his feet. And then he just, something was slightly off that he kicked it away.
I know. Have you seen this video?
No, I haven't. I've seen the clip of, like, him tray flipping it, but did Jamie just board slide it, or did we miss the crook? Thought that he crooked it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
Oh, he's going back up. There we go. Yeah, here it is. Oh, another board slide.
Bro, what's going on?
He's got that on lock.
I know, right? How many times he's gonna do it?
Hey, if I could, there it is. Dang, dude, that's what we're talking about right there.
Yeah, that's insane. So when I think of Jamie, that's what I think of when I think of Foy.
Crushes it. Then this must be the tray flip.
He has a new part that I want to see.
Dude, this year, bro, that was one thing that I did want to, watch with you specifically is like all the stuff Jamie dropped the last year. It's no doubt he won Skater of the Year.
We got to get him on. You think he'd come? We're a Florida podcast.
Get him on FaceTime or something? Golly, that is crazy. Yeah, that's insane.
He's funny. I remember seeing him at Tampa Pro, and I was kind of like stunned when I saw him, and I was like, Jamie. And he looked back, and I wasn't like expecting him to look back, but it's like, hey, of course, if he yells first name, he's probably gonna look back, you know. And he looked back, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like literally unfazed, just like, oh.
He's like, hey.
I'm like, sick.
Remember when we saw him in line at the
Yeah, dude, that was cool. Dude, that's what I should think of when I think of Jamie.
We were in the line at the cafe.
And he just comes
at
in.
the lobby. Everyone was probably heading out because it was after the...
It was like 2 a.m.
Dude, yeah, it was like...
He comes in and gets
grabbed the big old handful of the creamers and put them in his pocket.
Oh, so it was in the morning then, wasn't it? It had to have been in the morning before.
Yeah, everyone was rolling out.
Yeah.
That's what it was. We were probably stopping down there to get some food and then try to go home.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it'll be a good trip.
Wow,
we'll
dude.
see. We'll see what everyone does. It is anybody's. I can predict all I want, and like we can sit here and try to think of top three, but like skating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depends on how the course is. Depends on whose day it is, and skating. Anyone could just blow it and bail their run or whatever. That's the crazy thing about Street League is like. Literally, some of these dudes are so good and have like elite runs, and then like if they just fall, like if they just like don't make a run, then they're just like probably not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
That's what's kind of different about this new thing that we've got, this new little contest that we've got now, getting away from SLS. You know, Mike Mo. Who's the other guy in it? Mike Mo. Who's like the other creator in it?
It's Vince and Mike.
Vince. Who's Vince? Vince Capaldi. Oh wow, Vince Capaldi and Mike Mo. They started PSL.
Yep.
And that's what, Professional Skateboarding League.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that first event we watched that was. It's like for just kind of to put it in a nutshell, it's kind of like a team game of skate, or is it going to be different?
No, I think that's how they want to format it.
Yeah. It's a cool concept. I like it.
Yeah, it really is. Here, let me pull up. As we talk about it, I'll just pull this up. We can watch. Because I really did enjoy the first one. Mute that. Because it is a cool concept. Even in just thinking this was just like a tester, you know, like an exhibition, like little test to try it out. at P Rod's Park. I hope they always do it at P Rod's Park. Honestly, so perfect for it.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they like did some other stuff too, though. Like I don't know where. Like I don't know where. Who is it? Street League goes and does like these resurrection spots.
Mm-hmm.
But like it would be cool to do something like that too. Like do a PSL like when they do something like that. Go and do it at like the Hubba Hideout or you know what I mean, Clipper or some random like replica
like a
spot
street
that they make. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what would go into that because like when the Street League does the resurrection stuff, they have a whole crew. Because I don't know what all goes into the production of this. Where like that's why it's perfect to do it at P Rod's Park because it's owned by them. So like they can bring in all these cranes and like camera gear and like all this stuff to produce it super gnarly. But it seems like Street League when they do these resurrection things and contests like on sites, they're able to bring this stuff out. But probably like heavy permitting and stuff like for that type thing. Yeah. So I don't know. I know it is only the beginning for this though. It's a cool concept and it is cool. Just like I like think what you want about it. Like I've heard people say some harsh things about like Mike Mo and what they're trying to do and everything like, but I dig it because it is like just for like the layperson to watch skateboarding, they're probably not going to watch Street League, dude. I was watching a pro contest with my father-in-law the other day, and it's just like a foreign language, you know, like people are doing these tricks that like if you're not a skater, you have no idea what they're doing. And so like to think about rating and judging, like someone could like, you know, if you did like a blunt slide down a rail or something, the lay person is probably going to be like, that was amazing, you know what I mean? But it's going to get like a decent score. Someone does like a switch blunt slide down the rail, the lay person's not going to know it's switch, but it's going to get like a way bigger score for reasons that they have no idea, you know what I mean? So it's hard to watch as just like a non-skater or someone who's like just a casual viewer when something like this is like yes no, you know, like he does it, oh that was a really cool trick, can the opponent do the really cool trick? Nope. Oh, he gets a letter. It's like easier to understand, you know, even if you don't even know what the trick's called. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But I enjoyed it. It was super cool. And you don't see like, that's one thing that I kind of like get bummed at with Street League and big contests like that is it gets so like so much about like the big rail and like the rail tricks with like you don't really get like you don't see people like jump as much because it's not worth the risk, you know, if like rails are so much more consistent and like higher scoring than drops. But so it's cool to just see like a game of skate down like a set of stairs.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that. But you think they'd ever do it like on a rail specifically?
I think they will. And I think Mike Mo and Sean Malto, like after this, or maybe it was in the app before they did this event, like they were talking about it, but they brought up that idea of like, would they ever do a rail? The reason being, I like how they broke it down because the reason is, think about a game of skate down a set of stairs. Like if me and you were playing skate down a set of stairs, if you did a backside heel flip down the set, I'm not good at backside heel flips, but like I could still probably throw one out and just see, like maybe I could land on it, you know, like maybe, and if not, like I'll kick it away or like whatever. But if you think about a rail, if me and you were playing skate on a rail and I do like a frontside blunt slide down the rail, you're probably not, you could like get so smoked if you even like try it. So you're probably just going to be like, oh, give me the letter. So imagining like if someone like Yuto is playing someone like anyone really, because he can do like nollie 270 nose slide, that's one that like you probably aren't even going to try because the chances of you landing it is like maybe less than 1% if you've never done it before and can't spin like that. And the chances of you getting smoked even just trying the trick is like 80% or something, like super high. Where something like this, if someone does like a switch backside or switch big spin heel flip, even if you know like I've never done that trick, probably not going to do this, you could throw it out and like maybe get it, you know?
Yeah, I think it'd be, because I definitely feel that. I didn't even think about that, but I feel that for sure. But I think it'd be cool if like you got, you know, you had like, you know, is if you were going to do like a rail thing, say Jamie and Nija is on a team, you know, because what's on a rail that between the two of them that they can't do? Not much. And then on the other team, I don't know, you got Yuto and whoever else, you know what I mean? Braden Hoven. Two just, you know, I don't know. Not sure if those are like the best teams, but you know what I mean? Just people who specialize in that, who that's kind of their forte.
And I'm sure they will. They will like
tight.
do stuff like that. It'll be cool to see how they evolve from here. I look forward, I've told you this off air before, but like I look forward to them doing like flat ground stuff because I strongly think that they're going to try to like bring a whole new kind of like vibe to flat ground game of skate contests.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really haven't seen, like, I love the Barracks and like they have such a special place in my heart, but like they've just like it's just not really a thing anymore. The Barracks just like isn't really a thing anymore, frankly, and at least in my perspective.
It was was there even a Battle of the Barracks like in the past?
I don't think they did one. No, they do one every year, but I don't think they've done one since the 1 year that it took more than a year to complete, because they had such a giant bracket and it was such a cluster and like such a mess to follow through on it. Like, really, it like really left a bad taste in people's mouths. And I still like, dude, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They were trying to do something really cool, and it was just very, very impossible to like pull it off well. And but I don't think they've. I don't know. I've been looking forward to seeing like when they announce something, because it used to be like I'd love to like, that was a whole part of like the skate industry for a while, was like waiting to see when the Battle of the Barracks would like post
for real
the theme of like, because they would do like a new theme every year, which eventually after like 6 or 7 years, like I start to think first they did like, you know, like us versus them, and like US skaters versus like foreigner skaters. They do Goofy versus regular. They did like all sorts of
Pros
like different
versus Joes.
Pros versus Joes.
That was cool. That was one of my favorites.
And they've always like been innovative with like making it like not just a game of skate, but like more than that, you know, like just like some sort of theme to it. And it got to a point where it's like, man, what's next? Like what are they? And that led to the whole one where I don't even remember the theme of it, but like they did like influencers. What was it, like legends, influencers? I can't remember, but
a cool theme,
huge bracket, and
but
like
everybody's
just as far
like,
as
"Hey, yo, I'm busy." Yeah,
traveling and schedules.
They did one, dude. Remember the couple of games they did like over Zoom?
They did do that, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, so all that being said, is like game of skate, flat ground game of skate is like something that is. They had the S game of skate back in the day. They had Battle of the Barracks, like. ESPN tried to do one for a minute. X Games tried to do a game of skate.
I remember that. I remember watching those on YouTube. Yeah,
cringy, dude.
They're do they is the Barracks, because it's not a thing right now. Like it's not a play. That makes sense that they didn't do it then.
Yeah, they don't have a spot.
But they're rebuilding, right?
I don't know. I thought so, but they've done like a few pop-up events where they'll do like a pop-up event at like a skate park or something.
Bro, you know Garrett Jenner has
the Barracks rail?
Yeah. Have you seen his setup?
Not fully, no. I've seen bits and pieces.
Crushing. I watch his YouTube now and again, just kind of see what he's up to, and like, bro, he's got this whole, like, he lives in like a cabin type of thing, like up in like Northern California, but like his little behind that is like, bro, it's the sickest park, the sickest little indoor park.
I'm really hyped on everything he's doing, honestly. Just like over the years of like, because I used to really love his content, and like then I just kind of fell off. Like didn't really like vibe with his stuff anymore. And then just now, like he'll pop up on like my social media every now and again, and just seeing like he's still crushing it and everything. Welding now, he's a welder. Is that like?
Yeah, he makes like rails, dude. He's made like every rail that's I think on his property except for the one. He's made like super long rails, curvy rails.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. He makes fingerboard rails too and sells those.
I like that. That's a great idea. Yeah. I've thought about that before. Not necessarily rails, but like just obstacles in general. Like people will pay like pretty good money for like a solid little, and it's just fun, dude. Like making miniature stuff. Like ever since we were kids, I've been into like just miniature things.
Little hi, little ho.
Little hey, little ho. Bro, that's hilarious. So funny.
That's what made me talk. Like that's what made me think about it though too. Like the little stuff, because like remember his room. Remember Stuart Little's room. room.
And
that little thing.
Yeah, and he had a little skateboard, and mouse.
Little tech deck. Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
So last on the docket, super hyped on PSL. Really excited to see where they go from here, and I do hope that they do a flat ground contest. But last on the docket. Speaking of P-Rod Park, this primitive video, I definitely like teased you wrong, because I made it sound like there was like a new primitive video, like a primitive video, like a big one. Yeah, like a big one, because I thought it was the way, like I just randomly saw like a little like post, and I thought it was a big thing, but it's just a small edit. But I did want to watch this, I guess with the volume on, because yeah, I guess it's not that big of a deal. They won't take our video down, right?
Nah, they shouldn't.
Maybe.
Unless there's like music, like.
You know what? Yeah,
Let's
let's probably turn it off.
Yeah.
We got the audio. Yeah, so I wonder who. I think it's just a few of them maybe that are highlighted in this video. Tiago, man.
Is that Switch?
That's Switch.
That's insane.
I thought he was just going to
That's
front
just-
board it. And I was like, wow, switch front board on something that big? He's trying to switch front crook.
And it's like, bro, that's in front of that's a tire shop.
He's another one that like I was talking about with Sora and stuff. Like they do, and Yuto too. They do tricks that like are like physically impossible for certain people. Like not even just hard, but like physically impossible.
Yeah.
And Tiago's another one of those. Like, dude,
He got
just switch.
Trick of the Year off of that video that we watched. Was that on Encore? I think it was.
The switchback nose blunt?
Yeah.
I think it was. Maybe.
That was an insane
No,
trick.
actually, no. I think he did a switchback tail. I think he did switchback tail in Encore. And the switchback nose blunt, I think, was from a video this year.
True.
I could be wrong, but
Oh, yeah, that makes
I
sense. It wouldn't
Robert
have been
Neal's style is so nice, dude.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Switch V heel. It looks like I Show Speed.
Honestly, bro, he does.
I just thought of that. Dude be randomly showing up in my algorithm.
I Show Speed is a legend.
I don't
Speed
know
is
anything.
a legend.
I don't know
bruh.
anything about him. He just randomly shows up in my algorithm.
Bruh, Speed is an absolute legend.
Frankie.
He's one of the most. He's got to be the most.
That was nice.
I'd say popular dude on the planet right now.
Really?
The stuff he does too is insane. Did you see him jump over 2 supercars?
No.
Bro,
Trent McClung? I saw a couple clips from this video from Trent that were super good. I can't wait to see him in this. Man, dude, Primitive has such a cool squad. Like they seriously, I look forward to their videos so much because they're all like so diverse and like just have such cool, unique styles. Switch for a big spin. Boom. Oh, that one stopped. Yes. Dude, these are the tricks I was talking about. Giovanni Viana.
oh, I didn't see the last guy.
Ooh, that was scary, dude.
Yeah, look rough.
Worst thing to happen on a front board. Get pitched. He kind of got out of it okay.
For real, dude.
Yeah, sometimes skating
He's-
isn't so nice.
Excuse me. He's another guy that's been making his way up in SLS
Yeah.
finalists.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of being a regular.
Cool thing about him too is I remember hearing the story a few years back on him tearing his ACL. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And now he's like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
still. Dude, Carlos. One of my favorites right here, dude. Carlos Ribeiro.
Yeah, he's solid with
Is that
it.
Felipe Mota? Watching him grow up is so cool, dude.
Yeah, he's crushing.
Going from like the little kid that like, oh, he's old enough to be in street league to now he's like a man. doing
Doesn't he
man
skate
tricks.
for Primitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he raced too, right? Is that who he's affiliated with, Luis? He raced.
Yep.
Is this Kinosuke? Wonder what shoes he's going to be skating now. Well, he'll probably still skate Lakai, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Surprised he wasn't on the team, to be honest.
For real.
Aimu. This
that was
dude is
a
unreal.
crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
So cool. Imagine being on a session with the Primitive Squad. Dylan Jabe too. I just saw him in the background. He ain't even done a trick yet, but
Yeah, that'd be.
he's on the session too.
That'd be unreal.
Wow,
That
dude,
was
that was
unreal, dude.
impressive, dude.
What?
To back blunt like that,
Yeah,
so
that
fast,
was locked in.
and then just back 3 off the curb. Wow. Type of style that just makes you want to go skate, you know?
Mm-hmm. What?
Dude, so
I
crazy.
thought he was gonna hit the first ledge.
And doesn't raise his arms. Wow. I wonder what's happening with S. That's like a whole different topic we could dive into. Is just
I don't even know anything about that.
Oh, that was it. That was the ender.
Wow.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I like it.
Short and sweet.
Just a bunch of throwaway footage. No, I'm playing. That's like the biggest diss I realized you can give like a skate company or
Oh, this is what you did with all the throwaway footage?
Bro, because the nine club be doing that and like
Yeah, they'll throw out that term.
Yeah. People
Throwaway.
get so offended because Kelly always has people's back. Kelly's like, no, that's not throwaway, and
It's definitely not throwaway, dude.
Chris will be like, well, no, but I think it is.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's not their best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good though. Short and sweet. But yeah, a whole different. We won't get into the topic too much because we probably will wrap it up here in a sec. But yeah, did you not?
Did you get that? Nice.
I did. Just
all flying around.
Slapped that thing. That was a big old mosquito.
Nice. Yeah, dude.
One of the creepy ones, bro.
Yeah, a male mosquito.
Is that it?
I think that's what I've heard in my life. Yeah.
But no, so basically, I guess I'll give you the rundown, is that just a lot of like stuff changing in the industry. Like, I mean, like like we all feel that like the skate industry kind of is on like a low, you know, like it's hard for like a lot of businesses right now, like a lot of skate businesses, but just seeing a lot of people like, dude, Revive has downsized a lot. Like they've like decreased their team. They had 2 warehouses, now they have 1 warehouse.
They need a revival, bro.
They need a revival. No, literally, like I was so scared that like any day I'd see Andy upload a video saying like that they're done, because like I mean I'll like admit that like I never buy Revive skateboards anymore. I always buy Zero, but still love them. Like I don't want to see them go away. Like they've got such a special place in my heart. They do cool things and like living the dream out there in Ohio, dude. Like so to just see kind of like it fizzling out is really sad. It's not gonna fizzle out. They're still doing it. That is
true, man. That is true.
But Etnies, like I guess again, don't quote if you're listening to this and you know more. Like I'm not like, this is just what I know. Like it's like videos I've seen, like things I've heard from pros and stuff. Like Tom Asta is not on S anymore. Etnies let go of Chris Jocelyn and Aurelian Giroux, and like I think Soltech like was bought by like someone else, like they sold the company or whatever, so like everything under Soltech, Etnies and S and all that like changed hands basically, and it sounds like the people it changed hands to clearly don't see the value in like skaters or a skate team, because like it's one thing to like drop some of the skate team or like certain people or whatever, but like thinking about dropping Chris Jocelyn and Aurelian Giroux, these dudes have like skated in the Olympics. These are like dudes that can podium in SLS anytime they want, like at any point they could be on the podium. So like to drop them, it's clearly like the company's either very suffering or the new hands that it's in, they just don't see like the value in like paying skaters that whatever they make or whatever. And so just sad. And then Lakai too, the whole thing with Lakai, and like glad it's in Luis Mora's hands now, but
yeah, me too.
Just different, you know. It's just so crazy thinking about like when we were kids and like what the skate industry looked like compared to nowadays, and just brands and stuff. It's different.
Yeah, it is, dude. I think it would go in the right direction now. I mean, skating's growing a lot and it's changing a lot, and yeah, it's just like with anything. I mean, yeah, I think. I don't know, it's sad to see, companies come and go, and I think we're gonna see more of that. Like we're gonna see, I don't know, just I don't know, life moves in a different direction. A shout out to the companies who have withstood the test of time, bro.
Yeah,
like,
Zero.
Yeah, Zero, bro, is the first one I thought of. But even like companies that you don't really hear about much, like Birdhouse, bro. Birdhouse is
they're still doing it.
Been around, bro, still doing it.
I think they just turned Grayson Fletcher pro. Shout out him.
Wow, yeah. There's a lot of companies that you see, like Darkstar. They were forced, bro. Like the sadness. Darkstar, when I was a kid, Darkstar was fire. Like staple. You wanted to be on Darkstar. I had a Darkstar tech deck and thought I was everything.
Sick graphics.
Yes, bro. And
I'm surprised I didn't like Darkstar more. How like their logo was all like armored, like soldiers.
Well, dude, I remember seeing Darkstar then at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you see Birdhouse at Walmart.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how that can happen?
Uh-huh.
But it's not like the Birdhouse that you would get on birdhouse.com or from CCS.
For sure, yeah.
It's like
and it's honestly a good business move, like to have like cheaper boards.
I mean, bro, it's how you can stay in.
Mm-hmm. You need something to be able to. And honestly, like I remember back in the day, like there was such a talking point around like the big shoe brands like not wanting to endorse people like Nike or like even New Balance or like Converse or like any of these big brands that are like outside of skateboarding, big, like huge corporations coming into skateboarding, because they are taking away from like the little brands, the Lakai, the Fallen, like all these like little brands that are, and now like, even like S and Etnies and stuff, like these, it's just like the industry is just kind of like overwhelmed by like, you know, the bigger companies. And you're kind of seeing now that like there's very few shoe companies now that aren't those like big companies, you know, no like skater owned, like whatever, but there is still skater operated. That's the thing, is like, that's why I like New Balance, is because like they're not skater owned, they're a giant corporation, but like from what I hear, their skate division, their skate department that like makes the skate shoes and manages the skate team and stuff and makes the videos is on point. Like they're doing great things. And that's the thing to say too, is like when it comes to skate shoes and stuff, like I love Fallen, and I love like, just for nostalgia's sake, like, you know, all these companies we grew up with. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't deny that like the product that's being made, like Nike makes great skate shoes, you know what I mean? They have a great skate team, they take care of their skaters, they make awesome videos, like and even like Red Bull and stuff like that. Like these are like big companies that like, obviously skating is not their whole world, but like the fact that they've invested into skating and like they do a lot for skateboarding.
Yeah.
And, like that's something to be said, you know, because like, yeah, they could pull out at any second and just decide they're done with skating or whatever, but like we'll still be here. The skateboarding will still be here. And like if like getting a good pair of skate shoes or whatever means like a company like Nike coming in and like, or a company like New Balance coming in and like producing skate footwear, then like, okay, like we can still skateboard, you know what I mean? It sucks for the companies. Like I hate that like Lakai's not Mike and Rick's anymore, but like you said, things change. It just kind of is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I think, you know, I remember watching Luis way back when on YouTube, like before he moved to Tokyo, before raced. I remember when he started raced, yeah. And so the fact that he, you know, now owns like Lakai, it's huge. It's huge.
Not only that, but he has got a successful streetwear brand.
He's absolutely insane.
He's got a board brand now, and now he's got a shoe brand. He's dang near himself. He's dang near a whole like umbrella of skate brands.
Yeah, he's the industry.
Luis Mora is the industry.
Nah, but he's really, I mean, dude, yeah, he's making a staple in it, or making a standout in it.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's crushing. I feel like this was all skate centric, but I loved it.
Yeah, dude, there's been a lot of stuff to talk about over the last 2 years.
I know,
we didn't even get into the Olympics or any of that stuff, but yeah, our intentions are to record on the go like this. You know, we don't have a studio, but we made this work, and I pray that the audio came out good and that I can edit the angles like we always do, and won't be able to do it weekly like we did, but we're gonna do it regularly. That's for dang sure.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna be consistent, man. We're gonna try, like Brian said, we're not gonna do them weekly, but we're thinking to start, I think, like one episode a month.
Yeah,
right.
We'll start there.
Yeah, try and do that.
Because the thing is, like, we work full time. I mean, those of you that know us know, but like this is like very much a very small part of like our life. You know what I mean? Like the passion has never stopped, and like we always want to do this, but at the end of the day, we work full-time jobs, we're husbands, I go to school, I'm trying to like advance in my career, I'm going to school, you know, we both serve faithfully in the church, and it's like, you know, that's a lot of time and effort to be put out there and like all important things, you know, but I know that there is like, I think that we do have something to share, and I do think that like God's anointed our voices in some way to share something, and I want to have more guests on, and I want to like talk about skate topics and just things we're passionate about, and if you're down for it, if you're into the stuff that we're into, then follow and subscribe and look forward to the episodes, and we'll be trying to put shorts and stuff like that, because that's a thing now. That wasn't a thing 2 years ago. Like the shorts weren't really a thing.
Yeah.
But the little short form content for clips, and we'll have our episodes like normal, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Yes, sir. Well, it was a pleasure. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you made it to the end, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, share it with a friend, let them know we back. City of Palms podcast. This was episode 127. Hit them with that outro. Biscuit. Is this the outro song, isn't it?
I can't remember what the outro song is.
Well, you gotta put your headphones on.